Today we are, well, we're running late, technical issues and all that good stuff. I am going to be working on Tan Giong, I think the name is. We have assembled him 2.5 seconds before stream. We're going to try and get him primed. Hopefully the glue will be dry. Yeah, so fun stuff. About to get it ready with the primer. So we'll get that going in just a second here. And apologies if you hear the compressor running. Unfortunately, not a lot I can do about that right now at this point. Let's see if we can get that arm on just a little bit straighter. Don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do things last second. I will warn you though, that little piece of flame on his nose, that is fun to try and do when you're when you got 2 seconds left on the clock. So let's see here. I'm gonna try and put just a wee bit of glue on that spot just to secure it, son. There, maybe that will hold. All right. Airbrush going, compressor has run, get some primer. We use Stynal Res. That's what we use. I bought these way back in the day before the Great Freeze of 2015, I think it was, where their whole shipment, their whole warehouse got frozen, and it ruined all the primer. Problem is, I've not tried the new formulation. I don't know if it works as well or not. So until I try the new stuff, this is still my favorite primer. If anybody's had recent usage of it, like bought a new bottle and they have something to say about it, I'd be interested to hear. Because like I said, I love the stuff, but this is their old formulation. I don't know what the new formulation's like. Cult of Stynal Res. That is it. You know, that airbrush needs a little cleaning, folks. I mean, we do that anyways after primer, but you know. Okay, so there we go. That's done. Put this out. Damn, that was a lot of waste. All righty, let's get this clean real quick, and then we'll get on with the painting stuff. So, how is everybody's weird Wednesday going? Mine obviously is quite hectic, but it's good now that I'm like settling down in front of the camera. It's good now. It's just that when you're trying to get those last minute preparations done and you're behind schedule, that rush is not always the funnest. Crimson Tan, Larkin. All right, man. We always are person. We always appreciate our lurkers. Hope to chat with you when you're back. Sorry, it's an old school thing. I'm from the 80s, and everybody was man or dude back then. So it's not meant to imply genders or anything like that. It's just a it's just a phrase, a turn of phrase, but it's a hard one to break. I mean, I remember back then calling my mom dude. All righty, let's see here. Almost got this thing done, and then we can get to paint. And I'm very sorry for the little delay here. Okay. That has got it good enough for now. Get that hose out from underneath my feet. It'd be good. Okay, that's turned off. Got that. All righty. Got some waters. I'm going to move my mic just a little bit, so you may hear a little noise. There we go. Now I can actually see the screen. Okay. So he has a fairly simple paint scheme. Silver and parchment and some reds and browns and greens. It's pretty simple. So let's get started here. We're going to do some Dubai sand. I think Dubai brown. Sorry, Dubai brown. A little blob of that and a blob of Vallejo dark sand. This is kind of my base for parchment. What I've been doing on all the purity seals on that Dark Angel dude. I usually come in with a umber when I'm done for like a washing. My hands are unsteady. What happens when I get in a rush? I don't know if you guys do that or not, but I definitely do. I think it's all that adrenaline and stuff pumping. Usually my hands are like super duper steady. That's how I get those tiny little lines and freehanding done, but not today. Good thing we don't have any of that to do. Oh, right. We got all these pages to write text on. Whoops. That may be an off-screen thing. Off-stream thing. So much parchment on this thing. I keep calling it parchment. I guess it's paper, but I don't know if it's parchment paper. I mean, it's book paper, book vellum, whatever you want to call it. Now, I debated on the flames of this for quite some time because it's not clear on the artwork what hooves color it was. I was thinking we might do the kind of blue effect that we've done on the monkey and the Monkey King and Raijin as like the kind of we're materializing into the material plane kind of feel, that blue look, the ether, I guess. But then I went and looked at some of the lore for the character. And while very few things showed the hooves on fire, they showed flames from the mouth of the horse, and they were natural, like orange, red, yellow flames. So that to me says, yeah, we're going to be doing that on the hooves as well. So we'll do a regular flame work like we did on the Mystique model. Almost, God, has it been almost a year? I guess it's been over a year because it was Gen Cons last year. So yeah. That was one of the models that got hit with the flood the other night. So I'm hoping she's okay still. We'll get some more people in here. I'll start talking about the lore a little bit of this guy. It's kind of an interesting story. Oops. Told you my hands were unsteady. Just trying to pull some of these air bubbles out that we got on here for the moment, because most of the time they go away, but sometimes in the most annoying of places they'll dry and be this little hollowed out pain in the butt that you can't do anything with, particularly around eyes. I don't know what it is about eyes, but that's where water bubbles want to solidify. It'd be fine all over the body, but them eyes, yeah, you may as well just count on them having bubbles. So try and coming through and pop said bubbles if you can, or push them away from recesses, because you really don't want them there. Okay. Continue to work this around here. Like I said, trying to work out any bubbles. Now, if you are good and you want to avoid the bubble dance, just don't put as much water in your brush. But that goes against everything they tell you when they say thin coats, right? Got to have water in it or medium of some sort. But that medium, water, leads to bubbles. It's a crazy little dance we do. Alrighty. Just about finish up that first coat on this stuff. Now, if we hadn't had to do the priming on green, we'd have probably spray painted this or airbrushed this, the paper color, the parchment colors. Well, to be fair, paper is just a pain in the booty to paint. At least that first coat, right? But since we primed on stream, well, we don't want to have to clean the brush again on the air. So we're just going to do it this way. And hopefully this will work. Just takes a little longer. Also means we're going to have a little transition between the steel and the paper, but no, we're not. We got a nice little delineation here in the armor plates and the paper. So we'll have a relatively hard line instead. So I think here with this last coat here, I think we'll see. We may need a little touch up of a third in some places. For the most part, this should be the last time we go over it with this color. All right. Getting done. Getting done. Now, if I were going to do this as a display piece, I would probably write on every single one of these scrolls. Like, 1.5 million purity seals. But this is not going to be a display piece, so I will not be doing that. Do not get under my desk, cat. Sorry. Not today. Okay. Just about done with this last coat. Yeah, he thinks. I mean, if he'd let me, stretch my legs in there instead of being cramped up like a hermit crab, might be a different story. Every time I try and stretch my legs, he attacks. And when a cat attacks your feet while you're trying to paint, not fun. Not good for the paint either. He does not like being told no, though. I mean, makes sense. Cats, no. What is this word in your vocabulary? I don't have it. Okay. Man, weird hobbies. We got any pictures of Tahan's the book cover? Is it red or blue or green, or does anybody know? See if I can pull them up in the app, see if it gives me anything. It does not show. Shows pink flames though. I was gonna do them regular flames, but it looks like they're pink, like magenta-ish flames. Interesting. Okay. Get some. Oh, really? That sounds boring. Sounds very boring. Yeah, it does kind of look brownish, doesn't it? That's a bummer. I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do a blue or a green or a red cover. Make it not boring with glitter. Oh my God. Sounds like somebody has been influenced by our friend Llama. Glitter on everything. No, that's not the way it works. Yeah, you had to. Llama in spirit. She's here in spirit. I do have the glitter brushes that I can use. It's one thing the stream is lacking is the appropriate level of snark. That was last week when Vera got sassy. I missed that. Dang, I missed that one. I would have not expected Vieric to get sassy. What does sassy Vieric sound like? I may have to go back and watch that VOD. We got to do a little correction there. We missed that spot a wee bit. Sassy Vieric. That just almost sounds like an oxymoron. Whew. I cannot seem to reach that little bit there. I have to get a smaller brush in here and do that. He said things like, oh, the WW this week is nothing new if you've been on AWP, and Play Weird used to be my favorite. And Play Weird used to be my favorite. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, speaking of this weird Wednesday, Waldo Weekly, whatever we want to call it, that Hooch Dini, oh yeah, that model's going to be on my table. That is a 100% guarantee. Low level sass. Okay, so well, Europeans tend to have a little bit more, I guess, low key or subtle humor. I used to watch tons of Britcoms when I was young. In fact, it's about all I watched. I watched cartoons and stuff, but Britcom was my favorite. Are you being served? Absolutely fab. You know, all those. So we're just using some of that black red here for the base of the cloak. Again, got to watch out for them bubbles, so take care of them early before they solidify, if you can. We do need to go ahead and get a skin going as we're painting in this red. Remember, you always try and paint inside outward, so skin, underwears, then the appropriate layers of clothing. But I thought I'd go ahead and get this because I was trying to get the cloak that's in the back based or underneath based, because it's going to be hard to get to afterwards. Oh dear Lord. We were priming in such a hurry. We primed my favorite paintbrush. I hope this comes out. Gonna try and rescue that real quick, because we'll be needing this brush. Yeah, good. Gotta love that master soap. It came right out. Of course, you know, it's just dry spray from the airbrush, so it should come off pretty easy. It's not coming off the wand as easy, but it came out of the bristles pretty good. Did you? Nice. What do you think? I've been pretty freaking impressed by them. I mean, for $55 for a full set of sables, they're not bad. Good little workers. Yeah, I have been using the crap out of this number one. I've used the number two as well, but I just found like the number one it's a little larger than most. It's kind of like a good balance on a brush's size. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's held up well. The one thing that freaks you out is if you happen, like me, if you're a brush licker, and the last thing you do is lick your brush before bed, you'll get up and the bristles will be splayed out like that, right? And all it takes is you wet it, put a little soap on it, shape it up, let it sit a couple minutes, and then swish it out, and you're good to go. It's saliva, not good for bristles. So it'll freak out and splay, but it's fine. So I've been using this thing for about 2 months now, and granted, I have not done as much painting as I normally do, but I've put some hours in on this guy. Probably 25, 26 hours so far, and it's held up. It's held up better than my broken toed brushes. So for sure. Oh wow, you've been doing the dry brushing. Okay, cool. You didn't find those too soft. That was the only thing I had a semi complaint about, was the dry brushes seemed a little on the soft side. They're goat hair, which I had no idea goats were so soft. It's like, I need a goat in my life now. I'm glad you tried them out though. I'll have to let the, oh God, I can't remember their name. Let them know that somebody else has tried them out. Because smaller one was on point. Okay. Maybe that's it. I just used the bigger could explain it. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with these brushes. My only kind of number one set. Don't include that, which is kind of annoying. I think I got that backed in there. Now we can start working on the flash, but I want to do that. My that I could have gotten it assembled and everything before I was wanting to get started on her, but I decided to get that box. Looking forward to painting her and things with the eyes, or they call them luminaries or something. I can't remember what you call them. But I'm looking forward to painting all those and the and my map, whatever you call them, book lights. Oh, book lights. Oh, I thought it was something cooler than that. All right, book lights. I like illuminaries better, but book lights works. And if anybody's interested in my model holder today, this is a ketchup container, a to-go cup for ketchup or sauces of any sort. I use a crap ton of these, so I buy them in bulk on Amazon. They come in really handy if you're mixing washes and paints and mediums with your paints, or doing inks or any of those sorts of things that have a good bit of volume but you kind of want separate and controlled. So they're very handy for that. I also mix resins in them for resin pours and stuff. Okay. There's his thumb. I was trying to find it amongst the bamboo segments. His thumb's there. We do have one little stray hair on this thing. I may need to trim it. It's not a big deal because it's kind of like it pops out to the side. But it's usually far enough out that it's not affecting painting. So I don't really worry about it. Only once in a while, when it sticks real far out, do I notice it? But that's been my only complaint with this, and a little bit soft on the dry brushes. I do like them. If any of you actually get this model, it's kind of cool. If you notice the head is actually almost has an anime or manga profile to the face. Has that very far back forehead, like very sloped back. Has a nose that kind of does out like this and swoops back in. It's very anime manga profile. I expected him to have a little bit bigger eyes. Although for weird models, he does actually have pretty large eyes. So I guess he does have a pretty anime face. Okay. So weird hobbies. I don't know if you play a lot of games, but I've played one. I think you might like because I'm pretty sure you're into music and stuff. It's called Stray Gods. Um, I backed it way back when it was on Fig when it first opened up. I was like backer 112 before Fig collapsed, which I honestly thought was going to be the end of the show. But they found another studio. I think it was Humble Bundle or something like that they ended up going with, and they were able to finally complete the project. It just took 3 years too long, but definitely a fun little game. You heard good things about it. Yeah, it's the music's really good. I mean, if you're into musicals and stuff, I like musicals where musicals are appropriate, like when they're advertised as musicals. I do not like musicals in my sci-fi movies or shows. Like when they did the Star Trek one recently, Strange New Worlds. That one did not fly with me. That they need to keep the musicals and the fairy tales out of. But otherwise, I'm down with them. Like Schmigadoon. I don't know if you've seen that one. That one's on Apple. It's actually really funny. go. Got that. Just a little bit on his stomach there. A little bit on the abs there. Okay, got his skin blocked in now. I'm surprised that flame on the nose was actually fairly strong. Weird Hobbies. To be, I mean, wait, no, it's not super strong, but it'll hold as long as I don't grab it by it. I think it'll be fine. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to paint it. I think one of the character actors, voice actors, was a recent addition because I don't remember them saying when I backed it way back in like 2018 that Felicia Day was going to be a part of it. But anybody in RPG nerdery of any sort knows Felicia Day, so I was pretty surprised they got her. So we're just getting the silver work down here now. Try and get it over this section without getting on the parchment. We do not want to do 14 layers of parchment again. Now, if I had this model to do all over again, I would probably have spent a lot more time prepping it, especially the horse. The seam lines on it are pretty rough, especially up around the face. But with a good amount of that plastic glue, you can pretty much mold most of it out. This, you can still see there's a bit of a seam there, which I would have probably filled in with Milliput had I had time. So definitely one of those you have to give it a little tender, loving care when assembling. I recommend a little bit of water on your brush when you're doing this silver because there's a lot of flat, or not flat, but relatively smooth areas. So you'll end up with some brush strokes if you don't. Just a suggestion. too much water there. So one of the things about these guys, when I start working on them, I try and research them a little bit. If I don't know about them already, like Monkey King, I pretty much read all his lore years ago. He's been a favorite character of mine for, well, basically since I started reading. But anyways, this guy, I believe he's a Vietnamese lore character, and he was a large-ish 3-year-old that could not move, sit up, or talk. And basically a burden on his family. And there was a war coming, and the general's men were going house to house, to find able-bodied people to fight the war. And when they got to his house, he sat up and told them that if the king made him an iron horse, an iron sword, and iron armor, that he would take care of the enemy for him. And so the king said that, or the messenger said that the king would do that. And he grew up like instantly, and not grew up, normal, but grew up like, 10 feet tall kind of thing. And rode this giant iron horse into battle and made short work of the enemies. So he was a baby and grew up instantly to a super tall warrior man. It's an interesting little bit of lore. The funny thing I find is that he asked for an iron sword and iron armor, which he does have armor greaves. So he's wearing leg armor, right? But otherwise, no, he's bare chested, and he's depicted as bare chested in almost all the artwork. And in all the artwork, though, he's presented with bamboo, a bamboo sword as his weapon or whatever. And I'm like, so what happened to this iron sword when he's depicted with bamboo? So it's interesting in that I don't know whether it's supposed to be the bamboo is iron. If so, why is it green? Or if it's just one of those inconsistencies between lore and artwork. But for all the artwork to be that way is kind of interesting. I could understand if maybe some of them depicted, his iron sword, and some depicted the bamboo thing. That'd just be a matter of differing stories. Differing regions might have different thoughts on the background, but for all of them pretty much to show the bamboo. But the stories all say sword. Why the discrepancy? Or should I just say shut up and enjoy the story? I don't know. That's probably the better answer. Shut up and stop picking our lore apart. Just about got the silver blocked in here. Okay. All right, got the iron horse part done. I guess I should probably go ahead and paint the greaves too, but let's get his pants kicked in real quick, and then we'll do that. Pants are brown leather, I believe. So we'll start with some leather brown. When I first started assembling the model, I cut out the feet, the legs first, and I hadn't looked at the artwork in a while, right? And I saw the legs had these relatively small feet with heeled boots, and I was like, wait a sec, I thought this character was a boy. You know, it looked like your typical weird styled heel, right? Like high heel. But he's got heel boots. I guess that helps him get to 10 foot tall. But I definitely did a double take when I saw it. Like, maybe I got the wrong character. Maybe I'm snipping the wrong one. Or it could just be rocking the 70s disco look. That could be it too. I kind of hate I missed out on that. I would have loved to have had a pair of big old platform shoes with a goldfish tank in them. That'd have been my style. Well, probably not goldfish. Maybe beta fish, Siamese fighting fish. That'd probably been what I'd had in mind. But yeah, some light up platform shoes with fish tanks in them. I'd have been all about that. See, the good thing we went back over it. I noticed this little section of the red that we did not get. And it's in the shadow, which is where this black red, I always call it brick red. This black red actually really needs to be. The other stuff will be covered with brighter reds, but the shadow really needs is brick red. Black red. Black brick. I don't know. It's one of those. Black red. That's the one. Sometimes I have to check myself. I do believe at some point I'm going to have to raise my camera just a little bit, because I've hit it with the brush about 14 times so far today. It's been relatively small hits, but I've hit it. Mm-hmm. Where's my mouse? There it is. Check that out. It looks like it shows his boots brown too, but I'm going to do his boots black. Just give us a little break from the brown and the tan and the beige. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get some black down here. Getting very low on this. I'm going to have to replace it soon. Mm-hmm. All right. Oops, we're lost camera there. I hear mail call. Or some form of communication coming in. I've also just about finished up. Well, not just about finished up. I finished up the 5 main temples in Tears of the Kingdom, which has been fun. And now I'm just kind of working on shrines and side quests, which there are a zillion and a half side quests in Tears of the Kingdom. And working on building up batteries. I've got, I think, 7 filled up now finally. But you got to do 8, and then you have you can actually double them up to have 16. So that's another thing. But at first I thought the Ultra Hand was really gimmicky, but I've really found it a lot of fun now. Of course, there are a lot of things that you can do jank wise with it, which are kind of fun. But it's a fun game. I still don't like the weapons decaying in it. That from Breath of the Wild was like one of the worst things I thought they ever did. Because it made me immediately go out and chase like the Master Sword as quickly as possible. I'd have rather done it in time with the story, but I got tired of weapons breaking in the middle of a fight and not having an option, a backup plan. So I didn't like that system. The fusing system is kind of cool. I normally like to have one-handed weapons so I can use my shield more. More defensive fighter, I guess, than a aggro fighter. So I like to have my shield available. And two-handed weapons, you find 99% of the time, which don't let you use your shield. But if you fuse a shield to your two-handed weapon, you have shield and weapon at the same time. So that's something I haven't yet tried. I just one of the NPCs said you could do it, and I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. So may change things a little bit in fighting now in the Tears of the Kingdom. Couldn't do it in Breath of the Wild though, because we didn't have the fusing ability. But it might be their solution to that problem. Got a Astro Boy Pompadour here. Okay. Let's got that. All right, let's start getting some washes down. Gonna get our non-oil gloss here. This will be for the metallic portions, which I still need to do his greaves. Wait, let's do that real quick, and then we'll before my silver completely dissipates. Silver and wet palettes do not mix, just FYI. At least not my silver that I use. This is also something I would not recommend doing with your fox bite brushes. They're weird hobbies. Do not use metallics on them. You can, but it definitely shortens their life. Just a heads up. Crimson Team. Clear fixes everything. Oh no. Oh no. Do we have a disciple of Llama here? Welcome back. How are you doing? The cult of glitter. I hear you. Well, I hope you can get some rest as soon as possible. Douglas did Cassandra's dress with glitter, and it's very nice. Really? Okay. Well, I do actually have some iridescent medium, which I have used on occasion. Like, if you go to my Facebook page and you look under the Jacob Lynch cluster of photos, Kitty Pride, I did her entirely with the iridescent medium, and she looks. Did I say Kitty Pride? Kitty Dumont. Sorry. I had a little comic book crossover with the X-Men. And name dropping the Mr. Scoundrels. But yeah, that one was done with the iridescent medium, and I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed the bottle effect that I got on it. It was one of my first, fluid in a bottle effects, and then the translucency or the ethereal look with the glitter, the iridescent medium, and the words. And I had her on a curb base with one foot pinned to it, so that the other foot was up in the air. So it kind of looks like she's floating a little bit. Your void wretches have iridescence in the carapace. Yeah, I bet that would be a good effect. I do. I don't know why this brush is not acting right. Let's see here. Give it a good rinse again. Here we go. Now it's getting the wash down. I don't know what was going on before. It was acting strange. Getting that wash put in here on the metal. Just about done. Sorry, I was way off screen there, but I just couldn't get to that other piece without doing so. Sorry. Okay, got that. I am going to throw not the gloss on the legs because we've already got some bleed through here. Because we don't want the gloss on the parchments, we're going to kind of wipe that up right there real quick. And that around his leg. So hopefully we can fix that. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of very thin black and just black paint and water it down a good bit. And this will be our wash around the greaves. We're not going to do it on the greaves, but around them to give some separation. And it will be dull. I mean, it won't dull the silver. It just be dull where it's supposed to be, which is on the parchment and the pants. Gloss medium's great, but you definitely don't want it on things that are supposed to be matte. Getting a little bit here on the clothing, in the shadows of it. And you see we have, see how that gloss has just kept on going. Even though I tried to wipe it up, it just kept on going where it was going. And it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. So we're going to try and sweep it up with some water before it continues to creep. Which means we'll probably have to come back in and do those little pieces of parchment over again. Or we can do it after their wash. We'll see how that goes. All right. Minor mishap. Mr. Man also has a red belt, I believe. Come in here and get that. Need a little more black red. There was one person, I can't think who did it, but they did the smoke nightmare set of obliteration keyword, and they did a partial paint effect. It may have been Eleanor, because she's done that before on the Karai set. I can't remember who did it, but it was so cool on those Void Wretches. It looked purpose made for them. Like they were made for that particular paint job. Partner also had us one that he did that he has one he did that like that. Oh, okay, maybe it was him then or them. Recently saw a phasing in paint job on some Void Wretches that look great. Nice. Maybe you could link those two because it might be the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, that partial paint on the translucent sets is, if it's done well, is amazing. And it's hard to do well. Yeah. I have not attempted it yet. Maybe one of these days I will. I just hadn't gotten around to it. Boy, that wash is continuing to run, folks. Good God. I can't tell if it's the gloss or if it's the matte black, but it is just running all over the place. Okay, I think that might have settled it down. Just had to go in and actively wick it out. Okay. Let's get some little bit of Mephiston. I'm going to mix some Mephiston with some of that black red. At least at first. And then we'll do some by itself. All right, I will take a look in just a sec. That, ladies and germs, was my cat sneezing. There. Mouse is over here. Let me go take a look real quick. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty cool one. That's not the one I'm thinking of, but that's pretty slick. Particularly like the Herald of Obliteration. That looks really good. While we're getting colors going, let's get one little thing here. Just going to reinforce that a bit. Okay, got that cut in now, I think. All right, let's get on that red. This is that brick red or black red mixed with some Mephiston. A little heavy on the black red. Covering almost everything, but a little bit of the recesses is left just pure black red. Pretty excited. We've got a Sonic finally here. And Sonic used to be one of my absolute favorite places to go. Mainly always went on happy hour just to get, frozen drinks and stuff. Cherry limeade has always been a favorite. But anyways, today they have 99-cent corn dogs, and I'm literally going to go make dinner out of corn dogs from Sonic's. But it's funny that small town, and that place has just been crazy busy. It always happens with, any new restaurant up here. Like, because, well, we've seen the same things for 40 years kind of thing. So anything new is immediately, just swamped. It took me 3 weeks before I went to Sonic just because the lines were just so crazy for the first 3 weeks. But like the news is finally kind of wearing off, so the lines aren't crazy anymore. But it's funny watching how everybody goes nuts for anything new. Nice thing is, with the influx of Atlanta natives now, these places have a little bit better shot at surviving, because a lot of times once the newness is worn off, these small town folks will never go back. They'll try it, and yeah, I like my Dairy Queen hot dogs, and they'll go back to Dairy Queen because that's what they went to for the last 40 years. But the city folk will help keep it alive, hopefully. Really, Cat? I don't know if y'all can hear that. Hey, Heretic, how are you doing? Welcome in, man. Good time. Good to see you. What is up? God. Just sitting down to a steak, chili jam, and cheese sourdough seasoned fries. Oh, holy cow. I am quite jealous. So you see we're just kind of cutting in a little bit smaller spots now of those wrinkles with the brighter color of the red. This, I believe, is what they call layering for blending, because your eyes will kind of fill in the gaps between the colors if they're close enough. Man's got to eat. Dude. So Saturday, I missed a step and flung myself down half a flight of stairs. And I was feeling it pretty good from that. Nothing veered off in odd directions, so didn't break anything, but I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. So I came home and I took a bath in Epsom salt, thinking that would kind of help get ahead of the incoming soreness that I was going to have from falling down half a flight of stairs. And it did. I actually felt pretty good when I got done. Of course, that was still the day of, not the next day. The next day was when I really felt it. But anyways, got done with my bath, and took a shower afterwards. And oh man, got silver right on his pec. Whoops. We got to fix that real quick. Came down to the hobby room, and there's water pouring out of the ceiling up below the bathtub. And that water is pouring directly on my photography booth, my camera, about 4 trays worth of miniatures all soaked in Epsom salt water. It was not a good evening. Max endurance and negative luck. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, you've been with me long enough on my stream. You know what my luck's like. Didn't have the bad luck, I probably wouldn't have any at all. I mean, I guess you can say the fact that I didn't die in the fall is good luck, but at the same time, uh, come in here and touch that up too. Apparently, I got a little excited with that silver paint. Just was flinging it everywhere. All right, give me a second here. Let's look at that link. Ooh, that's a pretty sweet effect. I like that. Oh, he even carried it through on the bases. That's slick. Yeah, I like that a lot. Definitely a neat take. Good news, I didn't fall down all of them. There you go. I guess that's it. Got to be thankful for parts of it. Okay. Drop an alert. All right, man. Appreciate that alert. You know, lurkers are always appreciated. All righty. Let's get that some time to dry, and let's go back to working on our red. Now we're going to come to Mephiston by itself. Give us a little bit of water there. Come back in here and get some of this down here. A little bit of this cloak on the inside. I want to get it all the way, just a little bit. Okay. That was the previous color, not the Mephiston that I did on the inside. Don't want to make it too bright. Connect those two there. All right. Just about done with this cloak. I'm not going to go bright red with it. I'm going to keep it this kind of dark crimson red. So we might do a little bit of Evil Suns on some of these ridges, but for the most part, this is finishing us up. Like at the very top of the shoulders, I might hit some Evil Suns. But like I said, I kind of want to keep it crimson. Having a hard time keeping this duder in frame, man. He's a big old model. Not really huge, but just like unwieldy, you know, like big old base he's on, and just kind of a pain to keep track of where he's at without looking at the screen constantly. And then how can I paint if I'm looking at the screen constantly, right? I'll dealing with another model like this. I want to draw me a little square back on the paper to line me up. Then we won't have to worry about it quite as much. All right, the cape's done pretty much. Let's a little here on these edges. All right, gonna get that little bit of Evil Suns that we mentioned. If I can get it out of the bottle. It's about out, so it's not cooperating. Whoa, now it's all over the bottle. Yep. Good for you. Way to go. You gotta love when you squeeze a bottle, but it won't quite come out, and then you pop that little clog in the top, and it blows out the top like an oil rig. Yeah, that's fun. wish right in flying. How we did transfer that managed to get it all. But yeah, we'll do some other cut. Pretty cool. I was planning on doing it, orange flames, the purple and the pink. Paint the button to paint. I like the effect. To get the effect we want. We missed over on this side. See a little air bubble. Good. Got that. In paint, and you're using water medium. Watch for the bubbles. For some reason. Before we finish up on that, and get our bamboo base in. Because you can never have too much. Now, if I were a smart, I probably would have painted that little
today. So, yeah. Yeah, I should jump and get. Yeah.
How have you been, sir? How are the weirdo dogs? I'm assuming still weird. Hoping the last hot streak for the summer. I wouldn't put bets on that, but let's hope. I mean, I'm talking about Georgia weather. Now, you might be okay, but if you live in Georgia, don't hedge your bets on this being it. Dogs are dogs. Weird. Athena's been diagnosed with dysplasia. Oh no, is that hip dysplasia? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you are you going to try and get surgery for it? I don't know how the pet insurance works. If there's a pre-existing condition clauses in it and stuff, but it might be something to look into getting pet insurance. And if you don't tell them going in that she has hip dysplasia, you might be able to get away with having the hip surgery covered. Don't know if she's 8. Oh, man, I thought she was much younger than that. I am so sorry to hear that, man. It's a bummer. My friend, his German Shepherd got hip dysplasia, but she was like 2.5 or 3 years old when it happened, when the symptoms showed up. And they had pet insurance. They had her hip replaced at 3 years old. But once they fixed it, she was like good to go. She was like brand new dog all over again. I don't know if you've ever watched Rob with the Long War folks. He's a big cat lover, so therefore, he's cool in my book, right? But he has cat or pet insurance for his cats because one of his cats has cancer or had cancer, and they were literally giving his cat chemotherapy treatments, which he would have never been able to afford had he not had the insurance, right? Because they're even more expensive than human chemotherapy treatments, which are like $15,000 to $25,000 a hit, I think. So, yeah, without those, he'd have been in a lot of trouble. Or without insurance, he'd been in a lot of trouble. So yeah, I'd look into it if you could, just on the off chance. But then again, like you said, with the age, they may not be able to do anything. So, yeah, it's a bummer. Frick, I just painted right on his kneecap, folks. Exactly where I didn't want it to go. Silly. It actually didn't look as bad as it was, or wasn't as bad as it looked. That's good. Glad is that not degenerative disease, so more common in that breed. His nickname, Alstatia's disease. If she had that, she'd be in a wheelchair by Christmas. Oh, damn. Him. Well, sounds like you got the better of the two, I guess, but still sucks. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why we didn't get much of that wash on the kneecaps of the horse. For some reason, it just didn't want to stick there. I'm going to drop some more here. Right in there. Okay, there we go. Not unlike muscular dystrophy, but it hits the spinal cord from the back forward. They progressively lose the ability to. Oh, man, that's horrible. It really is rough, especially on our pets. Those, because you don't want them to suffer, but at the same time, you don't want to. You can't tell when they're fighting, so you don't know when they've, if they've still got that I want another chance at life, you know, kind of thing. So you have to make that tough call between ending suffering and giving them another chance. And that just always gets me. All right, let's get some of this flesh tone back in here. Mm-hmm. I hope that's on the screen. It's probably not, but I'm hoping it was. We got those obliques right there. And get that shoulder muscle hit. Okay. First color of the flesh is about down. Gotta do his face. This is basically just bringing up the original color, right? The original flesh before the wash went down. Whoops. Effective dice. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is actually one of my least favorite out of the series. Although it looks very much like the lore once I started researching it, but I don't know. I'm not particularly fond of it. But now that it's getting paint, I'm liking it more. It was not one of those that kind of like spoke to me. Most every model Weird does speaks to me on some level or another. This was just not one of them. But it's getting better. I'm digging it now. Really? Well, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, Some of them stink. Mine probably stinks. Everybody has opinions. We're not always going to line up, right? That's what makes it interesting. But yeah, I absolutely love the keyword. It's just not one of my favorites out of it. But like I said, as it's getting paint, I'm liking it more. Just I don't know, something about it. When I saw it first, I was like, it's gonna be hard to make look good. Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Read the lore on him. I don't know if you were here for that, Crimson, but he was a 3-year-old baby that could not sit up or speak, right? And the king's men were going door to door looking for able-bodied volunteers for the war, right? And this baby all of a sudden sits up. You did, okay? So you know the story. Well, for anybody else that hasn't heard it, he sits up and he tells the king's men that if the king will forge me an iron horse, iron armor, and an iron sword, I will take care of the enemy for him. And he immediately like starts growing as the king's making the horse, and he's like 10 foot tall or 10. I can't remember the measurement, but he's just a little bit less tall than the horse. He's a huge man, and goes out and defeats their enemies. It's an interesting story. Granted, that's Cliff Notes version, but you get it. Coming in with a little bit of my chrome. This is Vallejo Auto Color Chrome. One of my all-time favorite colors is just such a pretty one. I mean, granted, it's silver, but it's a really, really good silver, and it's so smooth. Definitely worth picking up if you haven't already. It flows great from an airbrush. It flows great from the paintbrush. It's just all around one of the best colors ever. All right. So a little bit up here at the top of the hoof. Down the edge. Now, like I said earlier, I would definitely not recommend doing this with your good brushes like I am. I'm an idiot. I basically expect a brush to last one project and one project only because I do stuff like this. So if it lasts a keyword, it's fine. I've made my money. But if you want to keep your brushes, definitely don't use your sables for your metallics. Those little bitty tiny particles are sharp and they cut the bristles over time. Although I may have to reevaluate that on these because I've been using metallics with them quite a bit and they're still holding up pretty well. So been pretty impressed by that. All right. So we're just kind of working around, pulling the silver end where we can on the highlights. I want to get super crazy there near the nose because we're going to be doing the flame stuff there. Catch that ear there. About out of chrome. I'm going to get some more. Okay, let's see if I can cut this line real quick. It'll be not easy. Here we go. Lucky there. Managed to get it. How about that? All right. Well, I have a feeling this is not going to be one of those we finish per stream. I don't know if we're going to be working on him next time, though. Probably we'll be working on one of the other miniatures from that the core box, like might work on map, however you say it, or maybe one of the bookkeepers or calligraphers. What does that have to say? I really want to try and when I do them, try and emulate their coloration, because they've all, or well, the two of them have this kind of really pretty pastel look with like a purple undertone. So I want to try and emulate that. I've been doing a lot of purple with skin tones lately. Started with the Iconic Dreamer. I did purple base tone and then worked up some beiges and yellows from there. And I really liked how it looked. I've done the same thing with Lionel Johnson. Did his face with the purple undertones, and I like it as well. So I'm hoping we can do the same with the those two models. Give them that kind of ethereal look. Even though I don't think they're supposed to be ethereal, but the card art makes them look that way. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, let's see here. See what I mean? How it has that kind of purple tone here to the flesh. Got the purple shading and purple in the clothing. Kind of hard to see there. And then the female one as well. She's very purpley. So we're going to try and do these two models in the same style. I may even carry it over to the third one so he doesn't look out of place, even though they show him kind of in dull colors. You know, your standard browns and grays and stuff like that. We may try and bring the purple tone into him as well, so they look like they match. But those first two ones are the ones I really want to do that with. So going to be fun with those, I think. Just planning ahead. Looking forward to that next model kind of thing. Now, I don't know what color to do these little straps on his boots. Would y'all suggest red or brown, since he's got for like leather, or what? I just don't know. Okay. Edging these little plates up here. Funny thing is that all that wash I put in there did not stick in that center region. I guess it evaporated through the crack, maybe. Now we got something to stick. Had to use black paint that time. All right, now we're gonna line around this here. Everything's kind of dried a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to come in with a little bit of get our barb flesh back out and add a little bit of ivory to it. Next to mahogany. Ivory is one of my favorite words. Thank you. Appreciate it. I love painting reds and greens. Well, I like painting blues too. I like painting a lot of colors, but reds and greens primarily. I'll show you one of my green ones. See the blending on his cape back here. But yeah, I love painting greens. Okay, now we're going to get some flesh highlights in here. I'll probably have to put on the bug glasses when I go to do his face because we're into doing the small details on it now. Okay. Okay. Come in here and get these fingers. might need to do a little bit of a mid-tone between these. So I'm going to mix some of those old colors together. Kind of come in here and split the difference on this bicep there. And same right there. Just kind of cutting in these muscles as best we can here. Okay, going with that mid-tone color again. All right, now we'll start coming back in with the highlight color that we're using. All right. Here we go. Getting the muscle cut in there. Appropriately looks like rats underneath the skin, as my old GF said. She did not like muscle-bound guys for some reason. She thought they looked like muscles looked like rats under her skin. Strange girl. Worked for me though, because I was very soft and fluffy. Okay, so he looks suitably muscular, I think. We got to work on that face. Boy, oh boy, do we got to work on that face. All right, let's get some glasses. This is goggles, bug eyes, whatever you want to call them. Let's see here. Go back to story. Just going to tidy this hairline up a little bit. Now that I'm wearing my glasses. He does have some glowing eyes, so we're going to have to get in there and do that. Fine. Good thing is we already have some white. So let's get that cut in. This eye should be relatively easy to do. The other one might be a little more difficult. Coming around the corner like this. Yep, it was. That's okay, we can fix the other part. All right, get some of this little highlight color in here. Okay, now he has kind of a purpley pinkish glow. So I think we're going to do some Warlord purple, which is actually fuchsia. But that's what we're going to do. Okay. Mix in a little bit of that with the flesh tone here. Bring that back up. There we go. I think that will do. Get a little bit of that color down in here in the mouth too. I know that's a little weird, but that's what we're doing. All right. I think we got that. Got those eyes cut in pretty well. Muscles are in pretty well. Do a wee little more highlight here on the cheeks. There we go. I think that works. Oh, wow. Is it that time already? Holy crap, doodle. Well, folks, that is my social media link there. Now, I admit I haven't put a whole lot of photos lately other than misconduct. About 6 months behind on photography, and now I've lost my camera, so I'll be a little bit further behind. But please, if you will, they're free. Just drop likes and subscribes and all that good stuff to those links that are listed on my Willow link. And I think I'm going to have to update that Weird Hobby because Willow link got bought out by Streamlabs, so we may have to change the link. I think it still forwards right now, but it will change eventually. So I'll get with you and let you know on that when it happens. But for right now, that works, or should work, should forward you out. Had a lot of fun painting him. I think now that I see the paint down on him, I'm much more into this model. So I'm excited about that. All right. Let's get some 2x brown mixed with a little sand. Already had a little bit of this, but I want a little less sand in it this time. We'll paint for a few more minutes. I think we got 7 minutes. Maybe we get his pants done. Next time y'all see me, Weird Hobbies, am I streaming again this month, or am I only getting the one stream this month? Will it be the 29th or 30th that I'll be streaming? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I knew it was 3 times in July, but I wasn't sure if this was a one stream month because of that. Or if it was just that was as far as you scheduled me out when you sent that letter. Wanted to make sure before I went and said, hey, I'll see you week after next. Okay. Well, then I will see you guys early in September then on my next stream. Till then, we do have our other Weird Stream team members that you can watch. I know Vieric will be on the 29th, I think. So yeah, be sure to tune in for those. And if you aren't already, like and subscribe on Play Weird as well. And we are very close here to wrapping this guy up. We don't have we aren't going to finish him, unfortunately, but we had a late start. So if we hadn't come in priming this model on stream, we might would have finished him up. I don't know. It was a wackadoodle day, folks. Very wackadoodle. And just so we know, not Weird's fault at all. 100% mine. So yeah. That was me all the way. Yeah, Defector Dice. I will try and get it done as soon as I can. Like I said, with my camera getting dusted in the flood, I'm not sure when I'll be getting decent pictures on my Facebook again, but I will try and get it repaired as quick as possible. Okay. Well, I think we got some good progress made on him. With the exception of his boots and the bamboo and hair, he's pretty well done. He is. We still got to do the flames on the horse, and of course all the pages and stuff. But yeah, we made some good progress on him. So yeah, I think that's about it for us. Again, I will see you bright and early in September. Until then, enjoy our other stream team members the rest of this month. When I come back, I will likely be painting Lynn Lee Bibliothecary, however the heck you say that name. I'll probably be painting her or Matt, that dude. Until then, everybody stay safe. Don't fall down any stairs, and be weird. See you then.